A few weeks ago, I showed you how to brew compost tea with a pump aerator, and the response was great. A lot of you tried it, and a lot of you loved it. But I also got a message from a viewer who asked a really good question. They said, what if I don't have a pump? Can I still make compost tea? And that's a fair question, and the answer is yes, with a catch. Today we're making compost tea without an aerator, and I'm going to be straight with you about what that means, what works, what doesn't, and how to do it right. Today, on the New England Harvester. Okay, before we talk about how to make it, let's talk about what's actually happening inside that bucket, because it changes everything about how you use this. In the previous video, we talked about aeration. The pump keeps oxygen flowing through the water continuously. That oxygen is what allows aerobic bacteria, the beneficial kind, to multiply rapidly during the brew. That's the whole point of aerated compost tea. You're not just extracting what's in the compost, you're growing it. Non-aerated tea is a different animal. Without a pump, the biology in the water shifts. You still get extraction, nutrients, humic acid, soluble organic matter, all of that leaches out of your compost into the water. That part works fine. But the microbial picture changes. Without oxygen, anaerobic bacteria that thrive in low oxygen environments, becomes more dominant the longer the tea sits. Most of those are not harmful, but some can be, and a brew left too long without aeration can become genuinely problematic for young, sensitive plants. Now, that's not a reason to skip it. It's a reason to understand what you're making and use it accordingly. Done right, non-aerated compost extract is a solid, legitimate amendment that gardeners have been making for generations. So the setup is even simpler than I showed previously, which was already pretty simple. You need a 5-gallon bucket. You need water. More on that in a second. You need compost, and I'm using the same combination I used in the previous video, which is cow manure and worm castings. And you need something to contain the compost in the water. I'm using a paint strainer bag, same as before. That keeps the solids out of the liquid and makes cleanup very easy. That's it. No pump, no hoses, no rock. Now, the water. This is actually more critical in non-aerated tea than in aerated tea. Chlorinated tap water kills microorganisms, and that works directly against everything we're trying to accomplish. Without microbial activity, all you have is dirty water. So the best solution is that you should leave your bucket of water out in the sun for a day, or at least open for 24 hours before using it. The sun and open air helps the chlorine gas off and makes the water less damaging to microbes. This should be done in both aerated and non-aerated versions. A better solution is to use collected rainwater if you have it. Oh, and room temperature water is ideal, just like before. Cold water slows everything down. Okay, so it's about the same ratios as before. 2 cups of the manure, or 2 cups of compost, I should say, if you're using compost. And of course, for my mixture, I'm using the worm castings, just a couple cups of the worm castings. Then we take this, and we put it into our room temperature dechlorinated water. And we make sure that we submerge the bag fully. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a knot in this bag first. That'll keep the inside concoction from floating out of the bag while it's submerged. And I'm just going to drop it into the water. Now, this is where it differs from the previous video, because you are going to stir it. No pump means no passive circulation, and you need to manually agitate the brew to keep things moving and to introduce some oxygen. You give it a vigorous stir for 30 to 60 seconds when you first put it together, and then you come back and you stir it again every 8 to 12 hours. It's not optional. Manual stirring is doing the job of the pump. It won't do it as efficiently, that's the honest truth, but it does matter. If you just let it sit completely still, you're accelerating the shift towards anaerobic conditions faster than you want. You'll notice it change color quickly. It'll go from a clear to a brown tea, and that's the organic matter leaching out. That's exactly what you want to see. Okay, so here's the most important part of this whole episode. Non-aerated compost tea has a shorter window than aerated tea. With a pump running, you had 24 to 48 hours to use it. Without a pump, I recommend using it within 24 hours. Some people push it to 36, and if you've been diligent about stirring and your temperature is right, that can work. But I don't push it past 24 as a general rule, and here's why. As the brew sits without oxygen, anaerobic bacteria multiply. Most are harmless. But a brew that's gone on too long in a warm environment starts to smell. Not earthy, not like compost, just wrong. If your brew smells putrid, genuinely foul, sulfur-like, don't use it on your plants. That's an indicator that the microbial balance has shifted somewhere you don't want it. Good non-aerated tea should smell earthy and rich like soil after a rain. Temperature still matters here, same as before. You want to be brewing above 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Below that, microbial activity slows down so much that you're just making cold, dirty water. 70 degrees is your sweet spot. If you're in a cool garage or a basement, find a warmer spot or wait for a warmer day. And just like before, use it the same day you make it. Don't brew it and forget about it for 2 days and put it on your plants. That window is real. Okay, so after your 24-hour period, you simply remove the bag and wring it out to get that last bit of goodness. The compost in the bag can be dumped right into your garden. Application is the same as the aerated version, which means it's versatile. You can use it as a soil drench or just simply pour it directly into the base of your plants. Flowers, fruit trees, whatever. You're delivering nutrients and microbial activity directly to the root zone, and that's the primary application for this method. For garden bed preparation, same approach as before. Before you plant anything in a new or amended bed, water the bed with this, and you're inoculating the soil. You're not just feeding the plants that are already there. You can also use it as a foliar spray. I'm going to be a little more conservative here than I was with the aerated version. Non-aerated tea can be applied as a foliar spray, but I'd strain it a little more carefully before it goes into the sprayer. Maybe double it through the paint strainer or put it through a fine mesh strainer. Make sure there's no solids in there that could clog your nozzle. Use it earlier in that 24-hour window rather than later. Fresher is better when it's going directly onto leaves. Now, dilution. This is a personal preference and it depends on your compost source. I tend to dilute non-aerated tea slightly more than aerated, roughly 1-to-1 ratio with clean, non-chlorinated water, especially for foliar applications and seedlings or plants that are more sensitive. For established plants and trees, you could just use it full strength. So, is non-aerated compost tea as effective as aerated compost tea? Well, no. Not if we're being precise about it. I mean, the science on aerated compost tea is pretty clear. The active aeration process genuinely multiplies beneficial microbial populations in ways that passive extraction just doesn't match. If you want maximum biology in the water, the pump wins. But that doesn't make non-aerated tea a bad product. It just makes it a different product. What you're getting from this method is a solid nutrient extract with some good organic matter content and some microbial activity. For soil health, for feeding plants, for prepping beds, it works. Generations of gardeners have made this without a pump and had thriving gardens. It's a legitimate method. If you have a pump, use it. If you don't, this works. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. And honestly, if this episode gets you making tea at all, that's a win. Because your soil will notice the difference. And believe me, that's a good thing. So there you go. Compost tea without the aerator. Same principles, a little more attention required, and certainly a tighter window, but absolutely worth doing. If you missed the previous video and you want to see the full aerated setup, I'll link it here. And special thanks to that viewer who made this request. This one's for you. If this video helps you out, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps support our channel. And be sure to visit us at newenglandharvester.com, where you can find all the supplies you need linked right there for your convenience, plus a whole bunch of other helpful stuff. Go check it out. I'll see you next time. And remember, whatever you're growing this season, grow it well.